Hi, I'm Dr. Kathy Winland-Colby, and I'm a member of the League of Chiropractic Women, and I am here with Dr. Martha Nessler, known as Innate Girl.
It's great
Hello.
to be here. Thank you so much. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit. We just had a fabulous weekend here. Tell us a little bit about the weekend.
I just feel like it was such a great innate connection. Like, that's all I could say. It was so many amazing speakers, so many amazing attendees, so many amazing vendors all in one room. I just feel like there was such an innate connection, and I feel like I just was feeding off everyone's energy. I really honestly had one of the best things at a conference in a long time. And I go to a lot of conferences, so I mean, coming from someone like me who speaks a lot, shares a lot, and has a lot of conferences and attend, it's like, it was such an honor, right?
It was. It really was. Because some of the women that were in the room, I mean, we had women here who have been practicing for 40 years, 50, 57 years.
Right.
And it's just an honor to be
a
around
student.
with
There was so many students, and I just want to say, if you're watching, thank you. So many students in the room, and what a great experience as a student to be around so many powerful, fantastic, amazing chiropractors, staff, spouses, chiropractic supporters, and just to be submersed in such an amazing energy. And I just feel like it was one of the most innate events I've ever been to. If you know me, I'm obsessed with the concept of innate, and so I just feel like Mabel was smiling.
I think she was.
It was a really good weekend. So
I can tell you, since you're talking about the students, I'm very active with the students, and the number one reason I am active is because I feel like no one reached out to me when I was a student.
Right.
So it makes me wonder, going backwards, if this was around when I was a student and you were a student, how different would your life and your practice be? And for the students that were here today, this weekend, to experience this as a student, I think it just catapults them automatically.
I talked a little bit on stage today, but in school I was just super into chiropractic, and people tease me, and I didn't go to necessarily a subluxation-based school, and tease me about, oh, Martha and her subluxations. And then when I got into practice, I had this lot of fear in me, fear from classmates, fear from, from faculty, fear. In the 6 months, it really just was not what I thought it would be. And I actually wanted to quit chiropractic. That is actually very true. I called my best friend Blair and I said, I'm done. And falling in love, back in love with chiropractic, like I talked about today. That's when I realized what chiropractic was. And so it's like, if I would have had that support network, would I ever have not just said to people, I am doing this? And I already had people in network to call and say, hey Kathy, hey Patty, hey Sharon, I need to talk to you about something. This is how I feel, and not feel alone. And I always like to say, you are not alone. And we're not alone here. And like, it feels really good. I'm not even a girly girl. I will say that on video. Was a little weirded out about a lot of women. Never been around a lot of them, but what an awesome, because it was a lot of women who aren't around a lot of women, I feel.
Exactly.
It was like a lot of badass
That is so true.
Censored badass women.
It's so true, because I've never considered myself a female chiropractor. I always just considered myself a chiropractor.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, some small student groups, the Tick Chicks and the sorority groups, started popping up and asking me to speak, and they wanted my perspective as a female chiropractor, and I had to start thinking of myself as a female chiropractor, whereas before, I just thought I was a chiropractor, and all of a sudden to start realizing that the way I do things may not exactly be the same way somebody else does, but I'm okay with it. I've always been okay with it. But to realize that there are women in our profession who don't feel okay with it, or feel that what they're doing is not as effective or considered as successful as some of the male counterparts, just because they're not doing it the same way they are. And it was the same feeling for me. Wow, I've never been in a room of this many women. And when they were talking about shopping, I didn't get it. I'm not a shopper. I just didn't get that. But to those of you who are, more power to you. But I thought, what a way to catapult the students, to change people's lives instantly in a weekend.
I just feel like it was such an amazing experience. I keep saying that because it was just so many people that I feel like everyone had someone to talk to. So like, you had a connection here. You had the ability to connect with someone and know that someone else was by your side. Whether it was someone who had practiced for 40 years or wasn't even in school yet. And I feel like I made so many connections that I feel like I went to camp. I think I went to camp. Were we at camp?
I don't know. I never went to camp either. I must not be a girly girl.
Do I have a counselor? Is Patty Kevorkian my counselor? What's going on right now?
Perfect. Well, just for those of you who are playing along at home, check us out on our website, lcwomen.com.
Hi guys, thanks.